all been on diet since we were about 12 years old. Weight Watchers was one of them. Nutrisystem was one of them.
Jenny Craig.
There were, oh my God, I forgot about
How
Jenny
could you
Craig.
forget Jenny Craig?
I don't know. She's like the queen of diet programs.
I had a personal trainer that would make me sit in front of a mirror to eat.
The struggle's always been, where are you at up here in your mind? Where are you in your heart when you start? What's different about your journey now in the GLP than it was with all these other plans that you were on? If that was the only thing that you got out of this entire journey, would that be worth it? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Big Man, Big Problems podcast. My name is Julio. I'm your host, and I created this podcast to talk about the issues of being a big man, or in this case, being a big man or being a big lady. I have Kelly back with me. If you've been watching my podcast, you would have seen Kelly on a previous podcast where we talked about a lot of things, but mostly being on GLPs versus bariatric surgery, all that kind of stuff. So I brought her back because I have a question for her that I think I know the answer to because I'm going to have the same one. So Kelly, have you ever been on a diet?
No.
So, you're obviously a lot younger than me. All right. But I said in the last podcast, we've all been on diet since we were about 12 years old. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you're what? 30, 31,
32.
32 years old. How many diets do you think you've been on?
I need 40 minutes to count.
Right. It's ridiculous. Yet endlessly, people come to us and they offer you diet programs, right? They tell you about this new fad, this new thing,
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the more memorable diet programs you were on?
Nutrisystem.
So Nutrisystem is a lot like Weight Watchers, right? So did you have to go into the Nutrisystem center or was it all done online?
Online.
Wow, that's a generational thing. So Nutrisystem started in my generation. There was no such thing as online, right? Which was great because there were also no online bullies for all you guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
What there was, though, were centers you would go to and you would see somebody and you would talk to a Nutrisystem coach, right? So the meals were sent to you frozen?
Some of them, yes. A lot of them were like shelf stable. Super healthy.
Yeah, ill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ill. So how long do you think you stayed on Nutrisystem?
Oh, gosh. 3 months, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it worked, right?
It did.
Yeah. So what do you think stopped it?
My mind, the commitment.
Your mind stopped it, like telepathically?
Well, it talked me out of it.
I joke about that because I'm not sure if that was one of them I did, but definitely Weight Watchers more than once, right? So I would call these more diet programs, right? Because there was a number of diet programs you can go on.
Mm-hmm.
Weight Watchers was one of them. Nutrisystem was one of them.
Jenny Craig.
There were, oh my God, I forgot about
How
Jenny
could you
Craig.
forget Jenny Craig?
I don't know. She's like the queen of diet programs.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm not sure if I did that one. Honestly, I've been on so many diets since I was a kid. I couldn't even tell you. The only one that actually worked for me, okay, if I got to zero it in, when I was 18, my dad took me to some medical place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what clicked at that time for me, but maybe it was because of where I was in school, what I was doing, the timing of it. My mother would make all my meals, because she was into it. And that one actually worked for a while. And then, I got married and gained all the weight back. I'm not saying it's my wife's fault.
You sure are.
No, I'm not saying that. No. But what are some of the worst experiences you had with diet programs? Because Nutrisystem was not your worst experience, I'm going to assume.
I think it's the time in my life that things were going on that I was choosing to do things. So when I was on Nutrisystem, I was in high school.
Oh, God.
Bringing Nutrisystem for lunch in a cafeteria with other, students.
Yeah, and your teenage years were around 2010, that kind of area, right? Okay, yeah. So people had phones with cameras and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
People were texting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
That I probably keto. Oh, I think I talked about this. I think I talked about this last episode a little bit, but I had a personal trainer that would make me sit in front of a mirror to eat. And I only got, it was like X amount of stalks of asparagus, one egg, and I think like maybe a beef stick or something. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly.
So that guy is now currently in prison or in some sort of institution. 'Cause
No.
that sounds crazy. Eat in front of a mirror.
Yeah. And I was also in high school during that.
How crazy. It was almost like he was trying to train you to look at what you're eating in some kind of weird thing.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
all it did was create a eating disorder because hate eating in front of people, specifically men. I have a very hard time doing it.
Okay.
Did I eat my whole sandwich?
No. Did you want to eat your whole sandwich?
Yeah.
So, we joke about this, right? I mean, I've been on everything that you can think of. I've been vegetarian. I've done keto or what do they call it? Atkins, right? I have done sugar-free, right? You guys want to really freak out? Go on a sugar-free diet, but like a legit one, right? Like where you go on a 30-day sugar fast and like you got to make your own mayonnaise and you can't eat anything from anywhere that's not that's processed. Everything is home cooked, everything. I promise you in 3 days, you're going to think you're actually having withdrawals from heroin. No lie. Like your body starts shaking like you have the flu. It's I think sugar is like the most addictive substance. It's more addictive than cocaine. It's crazy.
It is a cane.
Right? I've tried that. I've gone gluten-free. I'm actually, the guy that wrote the book on fasting, I'm actually in it. I didn't realize that. Somebody told me about it. So when I was part of that study at the NIH with the Biggest Losers, he actually put all of our weight charts in his book to show how that would certainly help people like us. And fasting's one I can wrap my head around, right? Because fasting, I think, is actually very good and healthy for you, how you do it. It was actually very effective for me, but for it to work for me, I had to fast for a long time, and that just wasn't sustainable, So why are we talking about this? We talk about these diets, we joke about these diets, we've all been on these diets. So why is it that we do this, right? You and I are similar in the sense that we were heavy when we were teenagers, so every person everybody who loves you, everybody who meets you, everybody who knows you has heard of, talked about, seen some sort of diet program, right? I talked to a lady about this closer to my age the other day, and she's like, oh my God, I even did Sweating to the Oldies with Richard Simmons, right? Which we all owned a copy of, since I was born in 1969. So since when I was 10 years old, there has been a craze in this country about diet programs, exercise programs, right? Everyone made one in the 80s, right? Sweating to the Oldies, Jane Fonda aerobics.
Tybo.
Right? Tybo. I've never tried Tybo. Have you
My
tried
mom was
Tybo?
a big Tybo girl. And so when I was, third, fourth, fifth grade, I would do Tybo with my mom.
Yeah, I don't even know how to get into the exercise programs that were out there, right? I used to do 7-minute abs because 8 minutes was far too long. So I used to do the 7-minute abs because it's better by 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nobody gets that unless they watch There's Something About Mary, I suppose.
Oh, sorry. I'm too young.
I remember every scene from every movie I've ever watched. Everything reminds me of something, But the point being is they all offer you some advice, right? And the truth of the matter is every single diet we were ever on worked. They all worked. We lost weight on all of them to a point. And then it stopped working or we went off it for some reason, right? So then what's the point? What's the point of these diets, right? Like you're doing GLPs now and they're doing amazing for you, right? But you said to me what about the GLPs, about this particular time you're on this diet?
A lot of things, but my mindset.
What's different about your journey now in the GLP than it was with all these other plans that you were on?
Acknowledging that I was constantly lying to myself. Like I kind of talked about the Lizzie McGuire, like mental little Kelly in my head.
Hmm.
And I stopped listening to her and started actually listening to who I am and what matters and what's important. And it takes making a choice every minute of every day, and it has to be the same choice. You have to stay committed. And the GLP, it's a tool. That's great, but it's not a committed program like these other things we're talking about. It gives you like a goal without having a day or 90 days or what was that other one that we were just talking about last time I was here that your wife was doing?
Oh, well, she was doing some kind of 30-day detox or
Yeah,
something.
like a
Yeah.
challenge,
Yeah.
it's a life choice.
Yeah. I'm not sure, so when I was on the TV show, right, and I would say halfway through my journey, and they brought us back to the ranch to do, for the people that were sent home, to do kind of a boot camp, right? And I was out to dinner with them and Dr. Huizinga.
Hmm.
And Dr. Huizinga turned to me at one point and he said, Julio, you're going to have to do this for the rest of your life. And I said, oh, Dr. H, I'm not going to go back to my old eating habits, right? I'm going to stay working out. I'm really enjoying it. He goes, no, no, no. You're going to have to do what you're doing now for the rest of your life. And I said, Doctor, I'm in the gym 3 times a day. I'm on restrictive calories. There's no way I can continue that. He goes,
Right.
yeah, but that's what you got to do. And I guess that's where it gets hard, right? So you can go on a Jenny Craig. You can go on GLPs. You can do bariatric surgery, right? Or you can do none of it. You could just eat healthy. You could just eat better. You could just cut back maybe on certain things. Don't add sugar. Don't eat the additional carb, whatever. Everything works. Anything you do that restricts your calorie intake, has you eating healthier, will work. That's never been the struggle. The struggle's always been, where are you at up here in
Hmm.
your mind? Where are you in your heart when you start? Are you on one of those things where your dad's making you do it or your husband's making you do it? And, you're saying, okay, on Monday, my life starts over.
Hmm.
I'm going to start on Monday all the time.
Hmm.
Right. And I go, what's wrong with right now?
Hmm.
Like, why can't you start now?
Right.
Because are you really that committed at that point? You've lost how much on this particular GLP journey?
120 pounds.
120 pounds. You've lost a person,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
What are your stresses now that you're down 120?
Clothing, honestly. You mean referring to diet?
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have any. That sounds so cocky.
No, that's not cocky. That's fantastic. That means you're in that place.
Hmm.
That means you've decided. Because at the end of you got a couple of choices, right? You have the choice to do nothing if you choose not to. And if you do nothing, you know what you can do? You could just make some healthier choices, right? Worry about your heart, worry about your liver, right? Worry about your brain health, right? Worry about the things that let you function as a person and be able to do the things you want to do. Because if you want to live your life as a big person, live your life, right? We're not here to tell you to lose 120 pounds. We're not here to tell you to be heavy. We're here to tell you to just live your life and be happy in what you choose, right? But if you do choose to do something different, okay, it takes not just effort, it takes commitment because you have to choose to do that all the time.
Hmm.
I said in our podcast, and I'm going to say it again. If I can go back in time, right, and I could tell Julio 10 years ago, Julio, I was at a weight somewhere in the middle where I was actually running triathlons. I was actually living my life. I could walk amusement parks. I fit on rides. I can go to the Cubs game. I could take a booth with the family. I
Hmm.
can kind of eat what I wanted, but I was being selective in what I was eating. I could go to the gym. All these things were happening, but I still felt like it was the weight I was in high school, and it was really, really bothering me that I was at that weight. If I can go back and tell that Julio, dude, you're happy, you're healthy, you don't need to be model slim. You just need to be Julio and be who you are, you know? And that's the message I'm trying to send. It's not that you're on a certain plan, because we've all been on the plans. It's not that one works better than the other. It's really the one that works for you, the one that allows you to be yourself while you're getting on some kind of program that makes you healthier and helps you exercise, right? Because what do we always say on the show? It's not about the scale. It's about being happy. It's about being healthy, and it's about living your life in a strong way. So, Kelly, what strategy do you use in keeping yourself in that place that's helping you stay focused on your journey?
Honestly, it is three things equally. And if any of them outweigh the other, you're not going to have success, at least from the experience in the 120 pounds I'm at now, or lost now. I am not 120 pounds yet, but it's,
Yeah, God bless.
it's mind, body, and spirit. If any of them are outweighing the other, you're not going to have success. You're going to fall off.
So how do you manage that?
A lot of prayer, or
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say weed.
no. That would be hard. That would make it very hard to eat healthy. Yeah. No, it's not weed.
Okay.
Although ironically, on the GLP, there are days, which I don't know if you ever experienced this, but it is very hard to eat sometimes. Like it does.
No. It's impossible to eat.
It does get in your
I've been
way.
on GLPs for 6 months. It just has had done nothing for me, unfortunately. But it's not even the day you take it, it's the next day. The next day it gets really, really hard. And then you actually are almost afraid to eat, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's like medical bariatric surgery, right? Like bariatric surgery stops you from eating altogether, right? Which is, by the way, if anybody's interested, I will try anything. I refuse to do bariatric surgery. I don't know why. It's just something where I draw a hard line. And I feel as if the doctor will have to look at me and say, you need to lose weight now or life is going to end for you. And then I will do bariatric surgery, right? Because it'd be silly not to. But that's just a hard line I draw.
That's so ironic, because that's like what I was ready to do.
So how do you manage the three?
A lot of meditation, and I go for walks, which kind of goes hand in hand with the meditation. And I do have the help of the shot, because it does help with the mental constant ringing in your ear of, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? When you are asked that question, what goes through my head is, what's not going to make me sick? Instead of, I really feel like tacos, or I really feel like pizza.
It's so hard to eliminate food as a priority, right? And not just food as a priority, not just like, am I going to eat, but what am I going to eat? How am I going to prepare it? What am I going to have with it? What am I going to have to drink? Right. And to take that drum beat out of your head is a very hard thing to do. And it's not just done with a drug, and it's not just done with a shot, right? It is not just done with a program or a trainer. That's really just you deciding. So one more question for you. Are you happy?
Very.
If that was the only thing that you got out of this entire journey, would that be worth it?
100%. I just had this conversation with my family.
Did you really?
Yesterday. Yes. I said, if I don't lose another pound, I'm so glad that I did this. This is the greatest thing I've ever done.
It's important to say that, guys. It's important to say that, right? Because what's the goal? So, guys, thank you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And we'll come back next week and do it again. So please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And we'll see you next time.